The next muscle in our muscle series is going to be a very small little wrist muscle called Pronator Quadratus. This is a tiny little muscle that crosses directly over from one side to the other and basically does very, very small pronation just at the wrist instead of all the way down at the elbow. On our lovely model Brianna, who is a fabulous massage therapist in her own right, I am basically outlining where Pronator Quadratus lives. Now, the attachments are basically called the distal aspect of the radius and the distal aspect of the ulna, because it's not really at one little attachment point like a lot of muscles. It's basically all along this ridge right here, all the way over and all the way to that ridge right there in a square or a rectangle, which is where the term quadratus comes from in Latin, basically four-sided shape, right? And so from here to here, if you can imagine this contracting, it's going to pronate, and it's going to pronate much more just at the very bottom of the forearm. It's basically impossible to only fire it and just turn that way without also getting a little bit of movement of the radius, but the idea is Pronator teres is this big long diagonal that handles major rotation and pronation of the wrist and the hand. This little guy down here, this quadratus muscle, takes a tiny bit more of that and just extends it all the way through to the bottom of the forearm. So to release in here, you can basically come along the ridges of these bones here. So here's the radius and this long bone right there. Right on this aspect here, you can get the attachments on that, and then on this long shaft here of the ulna, you can get the attachments there. And so all I'd like you to do is just very small movement there of the wrist back and forth, and yeah, I can feel that firing right under my thumbs right now. And so really try to push this palm all the way towards your leg. Yep. You feel that firing under my thumb. And so it doesn't take a lot of work. It's a very small balancer muscle, but just doing a little bit of release in here can be very helpful for your all-day typing clients.